Hey, what's up, rich homies? Welcome back to another Quinnside the Mind video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys how to perform well in stacked FNCS lobbies. So we ended up being in a position where we ended up getting griefed. We got some off spawn kills, but then a team pushed us and we ended up killing a couple of their members, but not everyone, and then we had to go for a reboot. So we ended up going from this to zone closing in on us, two of our teammates, or myself and my teammate, getting rebooted into winning the game, right? So this is something that a lot of people would see impossible, but I'm going to explain to you guys my thoughts in my IGO process of how we became so successful. So we ended up being able to go back to some of the old loot where we initially died. The loot was taken by another team, but we ended up getting the very basics of guns and a couple shields. But again, from this position, we are in a 2-tick storm, trying to car in on edge, barely struggling getting through walls that are ours, taking tons of storm, and then we don't know what's going to be in front of us, right? So we end up carring in. Fortunately enough, there's no one on edge holding us. A lot of people try to go towards the center, but again, we're in a very scuffed position. Look at my ammo, look at my mats. But again, I'm gonna explain to you guys how we are successful. So the very first part is that we end up getting a harpoon. We end up being able to fish some stuff. Cool, the guy who rebooted is going to be able to split me some mats. As an IGL, my teammates always make sure that I have the most amount of mats. So we don't get zone pull here. I'm sort of thinking to myself, how do we want to position ourselves? This team's going to be holding us, so we wait to rotate. A team rotated in front of us before. I heard them getting shot at, so I knew that they're going to be able to build. So we end up recycling that tarp to get into zone while being held up by a team on top of Risky. So we have a harpoon, which is going to be very crucial when you don't have any launch pads. We have 0 launch pads this game. I rotate with wood, then I switch to brick once we're getting shot at. In very stacked lobbies, it is very laggy. So again, 69 people, fourth zone. This is going to be a stacker. And then I box up in metal once we get into half and half out. You always want to box metal whenever you're in zone and don't plan on moving. Brick is like temporary boxes or when you're getting shot out, and wood is when you're just trying to rotate and getting shot out, shot by people far away. So we try to get some holds here. We don't really get too many holds.
Third-party psychos.
So then we end up having surge, right? So there's 69 people up. There's a lot of surge. We're good on surge because we got some off spawn kills and some mid-game fight action. And we also just go for AR tags. But whenever surge is active, we have to be aware of other people around us, right? So there is a team above us that probably needs surge, a team to the right that needs surge, and 2 teams below us that need surge. So they are going to be looking for sprays. And what you don't want to do when you're good on surge is to open up walls, right? Because if I open up this wall and it's building and it's resetting, then a team's going to want to spray it. Be like, oh, there's a guy right here. We need some surge. I'm going to panic spray this wall that's building. So we don't try to open up walls when surge is about to be activated and we're good on surge. So we try to third-party team. So this team to the top right here is going to be looking for surge. So we're going to be looking for a third party on their sprays. So they're getting zapped. And again, below was looking for surge too. As you can see, we're trying to look for a play here. We don't really see too much. And again, we had no mobility, zone pulls far, and again, we won this game from this position. So you should never count yourself out and give it your all when it comes to these end games. Surge is still zapping. We are trying to look for a third party so we can get kills, some loot. I hear a launch pad above, so I call it. I don't see the pad anymore, so I thought maybe it was shot out. And why were we able to recycle this pad? It's because of my initial setup, right? So there was a team that was set up above me. I made sure to set up below them, right? And then there was a team on low ground. If I was on this very low ground team and I hear this team pad on top, it's going to be really hard for me to get up there. But I preemptively set myself up towards that high ground / mid ground layer so then I could recycle a pad. And so we end up being able to play height after the height team pads. And then we don't use their pad because we couldn't find it, but we did find a pad to the left here. So we end up getting a kill. I didn't play the body because there was another dude there and zone was already coming in. So then we set ourselves up at low ground, right? So this play right here isn't the best play. We still want to set up elevated. I didn't really see a spot that I wanted to land that I felt comfortable with just because of my amount of mats. And also people would probably spray. So we ended up just calling it for a low ground play, which is the safe play, but also making sure that we set up near teams so we don't get shot at. So we're trying to look for holds here, and we see a guy that is struggling and end up being able to harp in the loot. Again, trying to headshot it for as much pump damage as possible. And now we're in a little bit better position. But again, he didn't really give us too much.
I had a teammate I should have shook.
I call myself out right there. He had a teammate I should have shook, because then you know it's going to be like a 3v2 or even a 3v1 in that scenario, which could be another kill. So I call myself out whenever I do make a mistake verbally. So one, my teammates remember to not make the same mistake as me, and two, so I remember it to not make the same mistake in the same game or in the future. So we're looking for another impact. We see the people above. We don't go for a hold. That team ends up getting away. And again, zone pulls far here. So we're in a very difficult situation with no mobility. We got some mats off that kill right there. But again, we do need more. So I set up and make a new box here. You can hear my calling right now. I said recycled tarp. So I have a pretty good vision when it comes to how I want to rotate things pretty early. So I end up seeing this left side, and it looks pretty congested with old builds, which would be nice to recycle. So as you can see, I'm overbuilding a good bit here because I'm really confident that there's going to be another impact possible. Everyone's in the sky right here and rotating, so that's why I switched to wood instead of hard mats on that rotate, because other people are most likely not going to be looking at us. A team's trying to hop into my teammates in the back. Yeah, I switched to hards. I see this guy to the left that's looking, right? So there's a guy to the left that's looking, and instead of being on the same layer trying to tarp his him, I then end up switching my elevation to go up. So then that guy that is going to be looking towards me isn't going to be trying to hold. As you can see, they're spraying. All you need to do is elevate, and then they stop spraying. That's simple. And again, so why is that team spraying at me? That team, one, is looking for an impact, and two, they're also worried about surge. Although we're good on surge here, that team maybe needs surge for themselves, so they're going to be spraying walls whenever they see a team tarping. All right, so I tell my teammates I'm out of hards, and we only have wood. We need an impact right here.
We need to elevate right side. Get ahead.
I tell my teammates on what they need to do. Cool ends up doing it with wood. And we're second height, but we are in zone, which is really important, right? So my play style is more elevated upwards than downwards. Some people like to play low ground more. I like to play towards mid ground because then it gives you the opportunity to maybe play height. So it pulls back. I'm making sure to recycle my old builds. When we recycle our old builds, a lot of these walls are going to be ours, so then we can look for impacts through our walls. Don't really have too much. They have our top, so I do a stair tarp. Getting us ahead as much as possible. My teammates ended up getting a kill in the back through using our old builds right there, catching the team off guard. They end up getting a lot of mats off that impact. I then calm to my teammates that we don't need to look for too much, because right here, some teammates might try to psycho because they think that we're really shambles. But I try to communicate to my teammates saying, hey, I have a bunch of loot. You don't have to worry. You know, just look for harpoons for loot so they don't have to die.
Okay, what does height look like? I'm looking for a spray.
I'm really good on mats here for this end game. And high ground is building wood solo. So it looks like they're really shambles. So I'm putting pressure on them. They had peppers on, so I didn't want to fight it because they had peppers. Then my teammate Cool ends up hitting them for 100, and then he's going to be calling out that they are very low on mats. And so when you go for a high ground and they're low on mats, what you want to avoid is a 50-50, right? So if there's a team above you and you're this team and you go up, right, and you try to fight this guy that has no mats, that guy's going to try to psycho you. So you're going to try to build, and then that guy's going to psycho you and most likely kill you. And that's the only way that you lose that scenario, is if you give them that opportunity. So whatever I do, whenever I take a height take, I always make sure to build away and then take it above them. So I give them no opportunity to really fight back. As you can see, that's what I told my teammates, and that's what we try to do.
Let's go for it.
So I'll let you hear it.
Do not fight him, build fight it.
Do not fight him, but build fight it. Meaning that you want to, you know, play for height. So I end up going for the cone here. That guy hits a nice right-hand side peek. And then I end up getting a kill on one of the guys in the back that was healing. I'm 1 HP. Ended up clutching the down.
Coming up. Okay, I have really good mount time. 1 HP though. I'm tarping. Plan me. Make sure I don't get shot out.
Alright, so here I am. We end up getting high ground. We end up killing the height team. by just being better and being more confident. And we're really low on mats. We're really low, but it does go through a lot of old builds, so that means a lot of stuff to recycle. I tell my teammates to look up because people might be doing a shadow bomb. I looked up, there wasn't anyone in there.
I have a lot of AR if anyone needs.
And we have a lot of AR, so I make sure I tell my teammates that we have a lot of AR so they can just non-stop spray. Whenever you're very low on builds, you never want to give the second height team the option to look up and see how shambles you are.
They're in this metal. We got a force metal team down right now.
So what you want to do is keep pressuring them. So as you can see, this high ground team, or the second height team, is just getting absolutely bombarded with bullets, making sure that they are either forced to go down or hold the builds. They give them no option.
Nope. They're in the wood. You're doing a great job.
And again, we keep spraying, pretty boring.
Keep putting pressure on that. They got old loot. Okay, I got one more build left.
Again, we're giving good comms when it comes to who has what when it comes to builds. We're continuing trying to put pressure and not giving the second height team a chance to go for height on us. And here we are, we're all playing together on top of them. A guy tries to go for a side shot, wave gets hit hard. Cool is abusing that charge by sizzling it, scaring the opponents to open up on us.
I'm gonna drop down on this guy most likely.
I'm calling for a drop down, but fortunately enough, when I sit on this cone right here, also, whenever you sit on a cone, you don't really want to sit on an edge, because if I sit on this edge right here, then he can edit me down and get his one. But if I sit on the very tip of the cone, then it puts me in a position where I don't get edited down. So that's also another reason on my position right there. There's something very, very small.
100 dead.
We end up just hitting our shot right there onto the second guy.
Okay, can I play med kit? Anyone have med kit?
My teammate has a med kit, and then I end up going for this med kit. So a lot of people say that this med kit is ping based when I hit it pretty perfectly. So whenever you want to go for a med kit, right? So zone's moving over here, right? So you want to pop the med kit in front of the zone, because then this circle is going to catch up to you, and then that tick that you take to go into storm in front is going to be the one tick that you need to pop the med kit, and then zone's going to catch up to you, and then you won't take another tick until it's not on you anymore. So that's how I hit this med kit at last second.
Nice. Go get those mats and tarp.
I'm going to play it back real quick.
Hey, can I play med kit? Anyone have med kit?
Calling for med kit. Again, I'm asking to play med kit because I'm the one at max HP. I'm ahead of zone when I take the tick, so then it's down to the very millisecond. My teammates go down, try to frag out. It's a 1v1. My teammates, good comms by them. I get my tag on the last person so I can get the point. I then hide. And then I'm very, very hyped. We're gonna play that back real quick just so you guys can see my HP. So when I do the med kit here, bam, I take it early. And then you're going to be able to see my health at the bottom left. And it's actually going to update at 90. It's not even going to show 100. And that was just because of pretty lucky timing. I get my tag on the very last person, like I said. And then I end up getting that the 1 point for the kill. And then winning the game. Again, pretty hyped. Happy Quinn for the first game. And you know, having a good, I think we finished on 42 points. It's a good start to qualify for round 3. And again, we went from having 2 people reboot third zone with it closing in to winning the game, and that was just based off of being confident, setting us up, high ground positioning, getting ahead of zone, going for holds, harpooning loot, and getting impacts when they needed. I hope this video did inspire you, and that you guys did learn a couple new things throughout the video. Again, hope you guys do enjoy the new Quinnside the Mind series. If you guys do like it, drop a like, drop a sub, turn on those notifications. These drop every single Wednesday. We might actually be switching it to Tuesday and Thursday. And comment down below what you guys want to see next when it comes to Quinnside the Mind. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.